Hey retailers, it's Alvin. Welcome to this week's training, which I am calling the customer attraction method. So, one of the major frustrations that we have as retail business owners is, this constant way of this constant not knowing on where to find new customers. After all, we spend all this time and money on marketing efforts, and we find that we don't get the results that we need. We've got competition from other retail businesses down the road and online. We've got customers coming into our store. And basically, it all boils down to, we really have no way of knowing whether our marketing efforts are effective or not. And this is a super big frustration and one of the common mistakes that we make as retailers. So today I want to run through with you a method that I use with my retail clients on how to get brand new customers into our retail stores. So if you're new here, my name is Alvin. I am the retail business coach that helps retailers grow their business. If you're watching this live, I would love it if you could pop the word live. Watching the replay, pop the word replay. Just lets me know when the best time to do these videos are. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It would just help spread the word about some of the great work I think that I'm doing in helping retail business owners grow their businesses. So today there is a worksheet associated with this. If you want a copy of worksheet, I'm just put the word customer in the comment section below, and myself or one of the team will get it out to you. So like I mentioned, this is just going to be an overview of a training that I run with my clients on how to get new customers through the door. I'm obviously not going to go through everything. It takes about 90 minutes. I'm just going to run through it in 10 minutes for you guys. And, using the worksheet, you should be able to, work your way through it and come up with a plan for yourself. And obviously, if you want some help with this stuff to do it properly with a community of other retailers, just reach out to me. And we'll see if we're the right fit. So let's rock and roll with the customer attraction method in our retail businesses, right? So the problem is, like I mentioned before, is we always need a continuous supply of new customers. That's one of the components in retailing. Now, don't get me wrong, we've spoken previously about how we should be attracting and retaining our existing customers. So important, but that's a whole nother training altogether. I think I might link it up to the right hand side now. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll link to that training. But one of the problems that we constantly have in our retail businesses is to try and get new customers. And like I mentioned, one of the major issues that we run across is, as retail business owners, we really don't track and measure our marketing. So we don't know what's happening, what initiatives are working. We're constantly trying out new strategies and not really giving out enough time to work. Or we're just trying a whole heap of wrong strategies and they're just simply not working at all. Or, like for the majority of us retailers, we've just got no time to try any strategies, and we've just got our hands in the air hoping that we will attract new customers. And so this is, obviously, many of us will know this already, this is due to the fact that we've got so many things happening in our retail stores. Chances are, if you're watching this, you're probably also doing the rostering. You're definitely serving at the register. You're trying to manage your team, do the purchasing, trying to fix the point of sale system. It goes without saying, there is so many things that we are doing as a retail business owner in our own stores because we think we're the best person to do it. And that's just a cycle to the bottom, but we can talk about that. We will talk about that another time if I haven't already. So that's the cause of it. So we basically haven't really created the time to sit down and think about how are we going to get new customers. Not only do we not have the time, but no one's really ever taught us how to do this, right? Like, who teaches us this? Like, most of us are retail business owners. We're technicians. I was a pharmacist, as you all know, And nobody ever taught me how to get new customers to the door. I just thought, customers walked past and they would come into my business. Boy, was I wrong. And I'm sure you're finding the same thing. Just because you have a storefront, a retail store, doesn't mean you're automatically going to get customers walking in the door. So there's a couple of key activities that we need to do to get it right, to start to get customers walking through the door. And these are some of the key activities that I learned with my business coach back in the day. So that's some of the causes of why we're unable to sort of get customers through our door, new customers through our door. And I'm sure many of you retailers can relate with that. If we get this right, we're going to be like a well-oiled mechanical watch. If we get this component of attracting new customers, we're obviously going to have more sales, right? We're going to have more customers walking through into the door. We're going to have more sales. We are going to have a far more engaged team because our team now will be working on all cylinders to serve our new customers. And if we get this right, this whole process, we're going to lay down the foundations of how to attract new customers and have it set up in a plan and schedule it out for the whole year. And that way, all we really need to do is work the plan. And so basically, if we get this customer attraction method right, we're really going to take the headache out of, growing our business. We're not going to be distracted, running from strategy to strategy, trying to figure out what's working, or we just heard a new strategy. We're actually have taken the time to think and plan and just execute the plan. And the reason we're going to execute the plan so well is because we're going to go through a few key areas of our business that's going to help us think a little bit deeper into what kind of clients that we want to attract. And it's going to help us in attracting these people and get them continuously to walk through the door. Right. So here is what you need to do. I will run through all of these with you. I'm not going to go into it in any great detail. There are a couple of worksheets there which I use with my clients, but I'm just going to explain a little bit for you to get started. So the first thing is we need to really define our target market. And I've spoken about target market before. We need to know who exactly it is that we're trying to chase. We can't be all things to all people. And if you don't have your target market sorted, the mistake is that as a retailer, you're just, you're going to have no clarity in the stock that you're going to keep in your store. You're not going to know, who actually are we going to chase? Are we going to, who are we exactly going to try and attract into our store? And it gets a little bit confusing, and it makes it very difficult for you as the retail business owner to put together a plan, to think straight, and to execute. We also need to take time and research the competition. By the way, I'm going to show you there's a copy of the worksheet. If you want a copy of the worksheet, just put the word customer below. So you need to research the competition, but how do you research the competition, right? Well, you need to have an understanding of what products and services they have. I have a matrix sheet for you to follow, which I might just go through now, actually. So this is the target market matrix. I should have gone through this. This is where we look at our customer, our needs and desires, our potential customers, their age, income, location, occupation, and their interests. And this is something that we need to take some time to really think about and write down. And once you have it written down, it makes it so much easier for you to go out and chase these people. So this is the competitor analysis that I was talking about. The biggest mistake that retailers make is we don't even do a competitor analysis, or if we do, we do a very simple SWOT, which is great, but then we leave it and it stays in our files. What we need to do is make sure that we have, our competitor analysis has some meat and potatoes that we can actually use and work with to get new customers through the door. So, we, in this little framework that I've developed, we look at our competitors, the products and services. We look at how it compares to ours. I think that's really, really important so that we can come up with a point of difference, understand the pricing and marketing strategies that they have, and also the strength and their weaknesses of their offer. So, just another simple, a little bit more involved SWOT analysis, but it's so important that we do that. Next part is marketing strategy. So the biggest mistake that retailers make here is we don't actually have a marketing strategy. We're kind of flying off our hip all the time, trying to do all these things in our retail business and trying to figure out what's working. And, no one's ever taught us how to do a marketing strategy. I keep harping back on this because many of us retail business owners have not gone to business school, and nobody's ever taught us to do this. And I'm sure you've read a book, and the book this thick on how to create a marketing strategy, which will get totally overwhelming for many of us, and we've got no time for that shit anyway. So we need to, what I've distilled is a very simple marketing strategy, which I've got here. So for retailers, what I think it works really, really best, and what's worked for me before, is to set it up in these 5 categories of marketing. We need to look at what promotions can we offer in store. Remember, it's promotions, not discounts. What events can we hold in store? We have this tremendous opportunity in retail in that we can capitalize on all these events. I think the next one that we've got coming up is Valentine's Day, and we've just had Christmas, but there are so many events that we can capitalize on and make a flurry about it. Also, just back to events, many of us can be specialty retailers, and as you know, holding workshops within our retail stores, little get-togethers work fantastic. But for many of us, we haven't really taken the time to think about that. So that's something that you need to think about. Loyalty program, if you haven't already done so, we need to set that up. And if you haven't got a loyalty program in place, there are so many ways that you can set one up, just to keep it really, really simple. Targeted opportunities, I think, are so important. So this is from understanding our target market and figuring out what exactly we can serve them. So for instance, if we look after women, I don't know, with makeup between the ages of 50 and 60 years old, there are particular products that we can specifically target in that age group. So that's really important to write down those opportunities. And partnerships, strategic partnerships, so important. As part of being a retailer, we have this great opportunity to partner with other retailers that are along the customer journey through our store or via our store. Do they go to the bakery first, or the coffee shop, and then come to our shop, and then they go somewhere else? We can start to create these strategic partnerships. So I just want you to write them down. Obviously, like I said, with my clients, we go through it a lot deeper on how to go about doing these things. But this is just there to give you something to work through on your own. So once we've got our marketing strategy in place, like I said, this is targeted marketing, which is going back to that point I made of really trying to understand our clients and creating offers for them and how we're going to go chasing them. We need to come up with a sales plan. So I can't remember if I've got a worksheet on this marketing strategy. Well, yeah, no. So we do have a sales plan worksheet. So that's basically trying to figure out what strategies are we going to do in place? How are we going to actually sell to these people? How are we going to get them in the door just by working through the marketing strategy? We also need to work on our customer service strategy. So important, because we need a plan in place in our retail stores so that our team are utilizing and are engaging our current customers to refer on and bring new customers in. But also we want to make sure that when we get a new customer in store, that all our team are providing amazing customer service, and all our team are trained up to provide the solution to our clients, which is so important, which is often overlooked, right? Because many of us, we don't even take the time to train our team. So just a little bit of basic there. So we need to have a customer service plan in place. And then the next important thing is to implement the plan. Part of implementing is, if you've probably seen some of my other stuff, is to take all this information that we have, and then we need to schedule it out on a calendar. Many of you know I like the Linnea calendar, which is a one-page plan, and we can just dot all the different events, activities, promotions, everything that all the marketing activities to get new customers in the store. We start to plan that out. It just makes it so much easier when you've planned it out, because you don't need to think. You think once, you roll out the plan, and you can start preparing months in advance, because in 3 months' time, you're going to be running this promotion, or we're going to be trying this campaign. And there's all that legwork that needs to happen to start to plan for that, which you can get ready. So really important once we do the implementation. And then Of course, evaluation, this is another major mistake that we make as retailers is we really don't take the time, like I mentioned previously, to figure out what's working, what's not working. Evaluation is so important, the part of testing and measuring and then trying to tweak what we're doing so that we can start to see some other results and compound the effects of our marketing strategies. So needless to say that it just involves a little bit of time. So we've spoken about this. Yeah. So in summary, like I mentioned, it's really, really important that we have a strategy in place to continually attract customers into our retail store. If we don't, then we're relying on our existing customers, which is great, which is one of the premier methods that we use, but we are just leaving money on the table. For many of us, we have retail stores, we've got customers that are walking straight past our businesses, and a lot of people don't really know what products and services that we're selling, what problems are we solving, and by getting really, really clear, by following all of these methods on what problem you solve and who you work with and who's how you can provide this amazing customer experience in your store, you're gonna have a constant stream of customers, new customers coming into your store, which is obviously going to be a lot better for you. So in summary, we're going to get more sales if you follow this method, right? Which is so important because you're getting new customers coming in. You're going to have more cash flow. Cash flow is so important, vital, as we know. You're going to have more profits, which is essentially what we're all about, because that's what pays the bills. That's what pays us. And in the end, we're going to have more customers in our retail shop. So that was the training, the customer attraction method. I hope you found that useful. Like I said, there is a worksheet. Put the word customer below. In the comment section, the team will get it out for you, get it out to you. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to the channel, just make sure you click the subscribe button. And until next time, in 2 Thursdays' time for another training, I'll chat to you later. Ciao.